All right, so there's some breaking news here, which I normally would not upload 2 times in one day. It's not something I usually do on the channel. It is a rarity, but I got to talk about this because it is a big deal. Joe and Anthony Russos, the Russo brothers. This is from The Hollywood Reporter. The Russo brothers are in early talks to return to Marvel Studios to direct not just one, but the next 2 Avengers movies. Now, in case you don't know, first of all, there were rumors about the Russos coming back for a while, and I had heard that Kevin Feige did not want to bring them back, that he basically wanted to try a different filmmaker for the next 2 Avengers films. But there's been a lot of problems with that. Directors have been changed. That one of them went up, the Shang-Chi guy was supposed to do it, then he's going on to do Shang-Chi 2. Like, there's a lot of moving parts here. Obviously, the Jonathan Majors thing changed a lot of things. So here's why this is important, because the Russo brothers' non-Marvel movies have been heavily criticized. However, their Marvel projects, they are responsible for either the 4 or 4 of the best MCU movies ever made. They directed Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. 4 of the absolute best. I mean, those are literally, to me, the 4 best MCU movies. You can throw in stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, or 3. Take your pick. You can throw in Iron Man and Thor Ragnarok and No Way Home. There's been a lot of good ones. I'm not saying there hasn't been. But you cannot do a top 10 list of the best MCU movies without including the 4 that I named. These are the most accomplished directors when it comes to making Marvel films ever. And they are the guys who made Infinity War and Endgame, which were absolute greatness in every sense of the word. I'm not sure if these 2 guys alone can save Marvel. There's going to need to be a lot more that's going on, like the Deadpool thing, for instance, and what they end up course correcting with Kang. But the criticism behind the Russos is that they sometimes go over budget. Now, I want to address that by saying, yes, that is a problem a lot of studios have, but we're talking about Marvel and Disney. And if they really trust the Russos, and if they really are trying to save this franchise and bring it back to the heights they were at during Infinity War and Endgame, then you might as well bring these guys back and write them a blank check. And I mean that, like, let them cook, let them do what they want. They've already produced 2 movies that are over $1 billion. One of them is $2 billion. Endgame is objectively, this is not up for debate, objectively the most successful Marvel film of all time. It's up there. It's number 2 behind Avatar as far as all-time gross. It's the biggest movie. Bringing the Russos back, I thought that the Russos were going to direct all the Avengers movies from now on, just because of how well they did Infinity War and Endgame. Joss Whedon did great with the first Avengers, not so great with Age of Ultron, but these guys came in with 3 and 4, and if they're going to be doing 5 and 6, I'm in. I cannot in any way criticize this. It says here, the hiring of the Russo brothers ends a month-long search by Marvel for filmmakers to oversee the next Avengers movies. Multiple names were in contention, including Deadpool director Sean Levy. Sources say the talks are in the early stages. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. They have not officially come back, but, I mean, you might as well. You might as well. They have a track record for knowing how to do Marvel. And the most important thing, guys, if you go back and actually look at Infinity War and Endgame, it wasn't just the story that was great. It was the fact that these directors were able to take all these characters. There's a lot of characters in Endgame from all these other movies and have this big final battle where everybody got a little bit of shine, and that's very difficult to do. Yes, the movie's 3 hours long, but that's a hard thing to do when you're dealing with that many characters. And don't forget that many actors that have egos. Let's be honest. All these actors want more screen time. The Russos made it work. So if you're going to have Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty, or whatever you want to call the movie now if they change the name, where it's going to have like characters from the Sony Spider-Man universe, like Toby and Andrew's Peter Parker's coming back, characters from the Fox X-Men universe, or even Fantastic Four. The guys who know how to juggle a lot of characters on screen is the Russos. So I can't think of a better pick. I was saying for years it should be the Russos. They've done it before. Every Marvel movie they've done has been a masterpiece. Civil War is probably still my favorite. It's between Civil War and Endgame, and it's these two. Bring them in. Bring them in, pay them whatever they want, give them a blank check, let them cook, let them save this damn franchise. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys real soon.